Hello, my name is Helmrich, and today I will be talking to you about Shogunate Japan. Shogunate Japan was a period of time during ancient Japan. This happened for about 700 years from 1192 to 1868. The word shogun was the term granted by the emperor to the country's top military commander. Today I will be talking to you about what happened back then. This will be represented in 4 separate topics about Shogunate Japan. This includes the samurai. Who were they? The foreigners in Japan. How are they important and how are they treated? Art in Japan and what can we learn? How art was respected and how important it was to all people. And lastly, I will be sharing to you information when traveling to Japan and where the most popular attractions are. The samurai, or bushi, were the highest form of Japanese soldiers. These soldiers, or warriors, were powerful protectors of all the lands, and only the fittest and strongest men were chosen for the long, painful years of samurai training. A samurai's job was very different to any of the other soldiers' jobs. Their job was to protect the town and all the people in it from invasions and raids. The samurai was equipped with the best weapons and armor that have ever been created. They would fight with a deadly sword known as the katana sword. These swords took 3 to 10 years to create and could chop off an arm with very little force. With a katana sword and heavy-duty armor, the samurai swore to the code of Bushido. Here they were expected to obey their daimyo lord and put their own life in risk to save the family and the friends of the lord. The strength of a samurai comes from the years of training learnt. Here they learn the skills of archery, the spear, fencing, horse riding, military strategy, and use of firearms and techniques of jiu-jitsu. Foreigners in Japan. Japanese culture is so important to all people and things all around the world. From foreigners that come for a holiday to people that live in room 77 on level 12. The culture Japan has built is ancient, starting way back in the 1st century when Chinese foreigners came ashore. The tradition of art and decorating commenced. This tradition is now ingrained in the culture and has stayed for 2,000 years. It can be demonstrated in many ways, such as backpackers and holidayers are greeted with food and craft when they arrive in Japan. Japanese people greet foreigners like this to make them feel warm and safe, or in Japan it is known as Hogo Asurimishita. For thousands of years, Japan has been a self-proclaimed place, but recently, in the past 500 years, traditions from other places such as Europe and America have filtered into Japan. This adjustment has been difficult for Japanese people, as their traditions have always came first. For example, in the 600s, a massive influx into Japan of Chinese and Korean arts changed many styles of the current shogunate ways. One of these was the Gikuku mask. This is a mask made of wood and painted with lacquer. This covers the whole entire human head. They were used to reenact characters in plays such as a Buddhist monk, a wistful old man, and a bully. Some scenes were funny, but others were on a serious theme. Overall, Japanese people are well known for their courteous and respect they show to others. This is shown also in the care of Japanese landmarks. They are very careful to make sure they are not damaged or broken. The root of this tradition respect goes way back to the 15th century when invaders broke in and food and shelter became scarce. Forms of art in Shogunate Japan. Japanese art has been an important part of culture for all Japanese people. From those that spend 3 hours a day meditating next to their favorite statue, or to the people who work 18-hour shifts. Art has a very important part of all culture of Japan since as early as 600 CE. Art was so sacred in ancient Japan that massive statues and buildings were made for praising. For example, the Great Buddha of Nara was made in 750 CE, and still today Japanese people meditate and pray there. Statues like the Great Buddha of Nara are very important to us today, as it can tell us how people thousands of years ago lived, and can also reveal some amazing historic evidence. In 2011, treasure was found inside the knee of the Great Buddha of Nara, containing working x-rays, a human tooth, along with pearls, mirrors, swords, and jewels. Art impacted the lives of many men and women in ancient Japan, especially in the shogunate period. Here, picture books and massive paintings were made after a person dies or something horrific happens. For example, C. Shonagon wrote the book Lady in Waiting, which expresses the feelings of a woman in the 1100s where her biwa, a small stringed instrument, made her feel happy in times of stress. Records tell us she died at the age of 25 after giving birth to her second child. These creative writings give us insight into the struggle some people could have had going through in the early years of ancient Japan. Info for people travelling to Japan. Japan is one of the hottest tourist attractions in the world, with millions of visitors each year. Japan consists of 4 main islands. These are Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku. It's a diverse country of great physical beauty. Its landmarks include mountains and rivers such as the Shinano River. Within the country, the cultural wealth, history, unique architecture, and Buddhist faith have shaped the country's buildings, temples, and gardens. One of the most popular attractions is the massive Great Buddha of Nara statue, which is located in the city of Nara, in a temple known as Japan as Daibutsu. This temple was once part of the powerful 7 temples and is a World Heritage Site. This is a popular destination as it can teach us how people lived thousands of years ago through its detail and beauty. Another popular tourist destination in Japan is Mount Fuji, which is located in the middle of Japan, about 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, and is a dormant volcano. It is the tallest mountain in Japan and annually racks up 300,000 climbers a year. The 376 meters above sea level is a difficult climb but is accomplished most of the time. Amazingly, even in the shogunate period, this volcano was also popular, and it was a common life goal to attempt to climb it. Now the volcano is only open to climb in summer due to the below freezing temperatures in winter. So to sum things up, shogunate Japan was very interesting. The samurai are still doing their thing today, like they did back then, and the arts have not changed much either. Thousands of years ago, Mount Fuji was very popular in the average households for its beauty. And still today, people are still travelling to Japan and being greeted with the same as they would hundreds of years ago. This period of time had a very important role in Japanese history. I hope you have learnt some valuable information. Thanks.